The stores.
My pleasure.
A recent study by Veterans United Loans ranked Charlotte in the top 20 for best cities for veterans. The study compared the 100 most populated cities across 4 key categories: economic wellness, employment, availability of VA benefits, and quality of life. More than 50,000 veterans live in Mecklenburg County and another 100,000 in the surrounding region. There's one local nonprofit that's doing all it can to help our veterans, and Carolina Impact's Jason TERZIS has the details.
Surprise! No way.
U.S. military personnel coming home to surprise loved ones. No matter how many times you see it, it never gets old.
Do we have another gift for Marietta? Okay.
And in many cases brings tears to your eyes. But that pure elation is oftentimes the high point. Many veterans coming home suffer post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, experiencing flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety.
So our veterans have a myriad of goals and challenges that come, connected to their military service.
Over the next 5 years, an estimated 1.5 million American service members will be returning to civilian life.
There's a ton of veterans in our community that you don't even know ever served.
Charlotte is the 9th most populated veteran city in the United States, which is amazing because there's not a military base within 90 miles of here.
Formed in 2011 by Tommy Norman, Veterans Bridge Home was started to help make the transition to civilian life just a little bit easier.
We helped connect our military-connected families to the best jobs, resources, and social opportunities this region has to offer.
They could be a veteran from Vietnam or Korea, or they could be a veteran who's just leaving the service now. Help them navigate the services, benefits, and create a network of friends for them to become our neighbors and our members of our community.
Veterans Bridge Home helps with job placement, housing, financial assistance, and healthcare needs, partnering with some 200 local companies and 75 nonprofits.
This organization is just unbelievable. If you haven't heard of Veterans Bridge Home, it's one of the most incredible nonprofits in Charlotte. It's really one of its kind in the region, if not the country.
We see most veterans in Charlotte right now are looking for housing. They're looking for a job. Recently we had a veteran who was living in her car with her child, and we helped connect them to emergency housing. She already had a job, she just was kind of underemployed.
The organization is funded by corporations, foundations, and individual grants, and also receives funding from the county and state governments. Serving on average 150 families per month, Veterans Bridge Home has assisted over 5,000 families since first starting.
For me, it was really the first sense of community with a veteran group I'd ever had.
Moving recently from California to Charlotte, Holly BLUMHART was invited to a Veterans Bridge Home function by a friend. She's been attending events ever since.
I think the biggest thing that Veterans Bridge Home has given to me is a social network. And I mean, they're literally people that I met from that very first meeting that I still talk with today.
Veterans are more likely to volunteer in their community. They're more likely to vote. They're more likely actually to give to charitable causes.
Count Holly is one of those many veteran volunteers. She's been spending many of her weekends at the Carolina coast, which was devastated last fall by Hurricane Florence.
We've committed to give 100,000 hours of community service to the community of New Bern over the next 2 years. And so far we've been fulfilling that by going out and cleaning up the debris. We're trying to help restore hope for people that have been devastated. They've lost everything.
One of the area companies Veterans Bridge Home partners with is investment firm Northwestern Mutual in South Park. Its managing partner, Richard WORRELL, is a former Marine.
Our goal is to hire 20% of our new hires are former military.
So we're very strategic about that. This is a hard business. It's for the right person, this is the greatest career in the world. And veterans have the intangibles needed to be successful.
And Northwestern practices what it preaches, with 27 veterans on staff. And they say retention rate for those vets is higher than with non-military employees.
They are incredibly motivated, focused, attention to detail, hardworking, ethical. They have all the attributes that we're looking for and most employers are looking for.
They have an innate ability to adapt. They can assimilate in and out of marketplaces very well. They're used to and comfortable in challenging situations. They're high achievers. They're top performers. They're self-motivated. They're resilient. But more importantly, they like to make an impact.
One of Northwestern Mutual's recent hires is Stuart VAUGHN, a United States Military Academy at West Point graduate. He served 5 years active duty in the Army.
2 tours in Afghanistan, over 100 combat missions. When I decided to get out of the Army, I came to Charlotte to pursue the career that I really wanted, which was to be a financial advisor. And yeah, I didn't have a friend network or a family network in Charlotte. I didn't know anybody when I got here.
That's when Stuart found Veterans Bridge home and ultimately Northwestern Mutual.
You know, I found Northwestern Mutual and I found, you know, how supportive they were of veterans. And it just couldn't have been a better fit. The vast majority of my clients are veterans, and so being able to serve them as their advisor has been really helpful.
There are other veterans organizations out there, but perhaps none like Veterans Bridge Home. And to think it's only been around 8 years.
Charlotte in this region has done some incredible work to support veterans. There's a lot more work to do.
I can only imagine how many more veterans they'll be able to serve in the next 8 years. For Carolina Impact, I'm Jason TERZIS reporting.
Thanks so much, Jason. Veterans we've talked to also say the VA hospital that opened in Charlotte almost 3 years ago has made a huge difference in access to health care. Previously, area veterans had to go all the way to Salisbury. Well, that's all we have time for this evening, my friends. Thanks so much.